Yeah, welcome back to Career Build Series, episode 224. In this episode, I'm going to continue work on the little helicopter that will fit inside a Proteus. Here we go. And so let's work on the gear. I know I keep kind of changing my mind on what I want to work on, but there's some method to my madness. Again, I wanted to get the engine running, but I need to know how I'm commanding the engine, and I don't want to waste the time of having to do it once and then redo it again. So let's see how I want to do these gear. So I'm thinking of putting two in the front, and then doing one in the back, I think. And they're just going to be simple folds. And so one of the things is, if I see, I don't need to spawn it inside a Proteus. Yeah, I don't need to spawn it inside a Proteus. So what I'll do is I'll put the gear up before I, I'll put the gear up before I, let's see if can I go in one? It's not overly wide if I do this. Let me try this. So let's go. So let's see. So this is my height. But it should be 11. What are we at there? I can actually go 12, but I'm kind of keeping it 11, so that's good there. So let's just I'll do this, and that kind of keeps my barrier, and I know where I'm at. And then I'll probably have to screw with it for these wheels, but I can cut out some of the wheel here, so cut out wheel arches there. Width is just needs to be able to fit in the door, so as long as I don't go outside of that bounds, that's good. So that's gonna be like that. Yeah, it's going to be tricycle, and it's going to sit on the tail. And so what I actually thinking of doing is have it sit on its tail here. And that way I don't need the, let's go under here so I don't accidentally kill that tail rotor. And so I'm trying to think, do I want to, don't really care for that. Pipe's a little bit weird, but that tail rotor's causing me problems every time it wants to be deleted. It really does. All right, so that's going to go like that. I'm going to knock you off. So I want it to sit on its tail, so I kind of want the tail, so it needs to come down a little bit, so it's going to be some pipe in here. And then probably there, maybe one up. One up would probably be nice. I kind of want it to favor its tail. So right now it would sit pretty flat, so let's go up one. Like that, and then I'm going to change the shape of this a little bit. So I don't want that pipe. The pipe looks out of place, so get out of there. Super annoying. Then I might put a steering tail wheel. I don't really need it, but I kind of want it. And so, big part of the build is how I want it. So, I want to kind of move on to getting the engine running, but I'm trying to nip some of these problems in the bud that I kind of see. Okay, this is going to be a problem. Let's work on that. This is going to be a problem. Let's work on that. Then, let's see. That goes like that. That will rotate. I kind of like it sitting there. Oh, come on, man. I hate it when it does that. You're grabbing the wrong things to merge. There we go. And so now we have a steering tail wheel. So that's pretty good. So that, when these retract, it will be able to work with the... when these retract, it will be able to get within the area of the for Proteus. I want to join these. I want them as one unit. That just makes them stronger and less likely to break because you have essentially two pivots holding them in place. When you have something light like this, you really don't need gear locks. If you have something heavy, you kind of need gear locks. So by making these one unit, by making them the same color, not only does it cut down my pivot count, but it also makes them so that you have two pivots moving them. So that's going to be nice to sit like that. And I don't like the spindliness of this tail. I kind of don't. So let's do this for now, and then if I loathe it, this will also help me integrate it a little bit better, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that's going to be better like that. Yeah, I'm liking that a little bit better. Ah, get out of there, man. The one block I was trying not to hit. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Looks a little bit better. Looks a little bit more connected, a little bit more fishy. I like that. So that will sit nice, I think. It's okay if it sticks over again. I could fit a container and the helicopter in there, but I don't really need to or really care all that much if they both fit in there. But we're making good progress with this. All right, so we have gear there. What else do I want? All right, so I'm kind of looking. Let's start numbering. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be, so these are all going to be my dials. 5, 6. That's none for now, but 7. That's going to be 8. That's going to be 9. Usually don't like to do it this way, but this is going to save me space. 10. What would you be? I could hit the. Yeah, I'm gonna do. So let's see, what was that? That was 9. That's gonna be. I don't know what that's gonna be yet. So we'll call this 10. Make it another gauge. Do I need another gauge? I don't think I do. I'm trying to think what I could possibly make that. That will be parking brake. So this will be parking brake here. Park, brake, release. Okay, so this will be the parking brake release right here. It's going to be a button. It's actually going to be, I usually don't. Let's do it as a flip switch. And so I put them kitty corner so that hopefully I don't hit them when I don't want to. So parking brake release is there. If I put them next to each other, you're more likely to hit the wrong one. This way, it's a little bit less. Parking brake release. So that's going to be a switch. So this one here is 9. This one here is going to be 10. This is the gear indicator. All right, so that's pretty much the gauges I can think of now, and I have plenty of gauge. I have an open one here, and I have plenty of space. So let's start working on our switches. So, and then these can be something later. Like these are good for having like cabin lights because I can reach them from the back. All right, so that's gonna be 1, 2. I don't know what I want those to be yet, but I want them to daisy in. So I'm trying to keep these reasonable. So that's 1, 2, and then this is gonna be. So that's like that for now. Lights will go on a side panel because I have to go to a separate box anyway. I think I'm going to be fine on the numbering scheme. I could probably do a normal numbering scheme, but the reason why I normally don't do it, but we'll see. Let's see what we're working with here. Okay, so let's actually start getting this going. So that's 1 and 2. That's what I really need. Whoop. So let me fix the other 2, the gear, make sure those aren't numbered incorrectly. So that's 1, 2. Let's do 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are going to be switches or numbers. Don't really want them next to the master power, but I think we'll be all right for now. And then this is going to be, so what's that? 1, 2, so that's 6, right? That should be 6, 7, Okay, so these are brakes. So that needs to go through anyways. Okay, that's fine. This is going to be 8. All right, so that's good. Let's go ahead and let's get this engine going here. So master power is 1. Engine starts 2. So starter here. So this is now 2. Runs all that. So I kind of had to get to that to make it work. So this is my throttle. I know what I want those buttons to be. Okay, perfect. So, you know, this came from a car and then it turned into a helicopter. So instead of me, trying to think, do I control my throttle or not? I think I, let's see, throttle there and then RPS is there. That's fine. All right, so I think I'm going to do select mode. So what we want here is we want, let's do ground idle. So it'd be master power, ground idle, start. Okay, so this area is going to be ground idle. Now, ground idle, what that does is it puts the engine in a low RPM setting. And so this is going to be a button. It's going to be a toggle. And so what this does is it will help you. So let's say you land your helicopter and you don't want to inadvertently take off. That will do that. That'll do that there. All right, then what you have here is you have your next mode. You have flight idle, ground idle. All right, and then you have flight idle. And flight idle is, it brings the RPM up to what you want for actual operation. So for example, let's say you have a turboprop, you put it in ground idle. It keeps the engines running lower so that as you're taxiing, you don't need a ton of thrust. You actually often have to drag your brakes as you're taxiing around. So you really don't want to do that. It burns up your brakes. So you have a lower thrust setting because you don't need it on the ground. And then when you're ready to take off, you take it off of ground idle, and now it goes up to flight idle, and it spools the engines up. It gives them more, essentially it's opening the clamp up so you have more power. So we have those 2 flight modes there. All right, and then these I need to figure out. All right, so that's kind of sets me up there. So that's going to be these 2. So that's 3 and 4. Let's go in here. And so what this is going to do here is instead of an up-down counter, yeah, so what I'll do here is I'm going to change this up. So I think what I'll do is, yeah, so let's see. So with 2 buttons, I could actually do 3 settings. Yeah, so I'll have ground. So if I select ground idle, it goes to ground idle. If I select, so I'm going to do like high power, max power will like bring it up to its maximum RPS, and then the middling one will be a standard. So what I want is I can get rid of this. All right, so now we have those going to panel. Okay, so this is going to be 3 and 4. So 3, 4. Okay, so what we want to do is I'm going to set 15 RPS because it's a small engine. So 15 RPS is my standard. All right, then next thing I have is I have ground idle. Ground idle is going to be, let's say, 5 RPS. All right, can't take off with that. And so that's going to set that there. And then what do I want to do next? Let's see. So now I want to do a numerical switch box here. And so this one is going to be actually my like my high performance here. So this is going to go, that will go there. And then what I'll do is I'll take this, and so 15 is my standard, so this will go up to 20, and 20 will be my my high setting. And so that will be 4. So I just need to rename those, but that will set that up, and that will let the engine run the way I want it. Okay, good. So now let's go in here and let's make this work. All right, and so this just needs to be changed to, let's go max power setting. Okay, so that's my max power. That's ground idle. If I select nothing, it goes to standard. If I do that, it will go to where I want it. What are you? That's battery. What are you? Yeah, that's that. So really, under RPS, I kind of want a green light there. Just trying to see how I can set this up. Could put it over here, but that's weird. What do I have here? Temperature. Let's, no, what's that? Trying to think of the best way to do this here. Let's get rid of this. So what do I want? 4 here is instead of battery, that's going to be flight power. So essentially, this will show me, this is on Katie did as well, this will show me if I have enough power to take off. So that light will go green. So if it's ground idle, it will be not green. If it's flight idle or above, it will be green. And so I still have voltage now, and then, oh, what do I want to do now? So let's move a bunch of stuff, of course. So this is going to be RPM. So this will be RPM. I don't know, we'll say 1,000 for now. All right, what is 2? 2 is now going to be, I'm screwing all this up for no reason. Let's see. So I was going to do RPM temp, and then I was going to move speed so the battery could be together. What did I screwing all this up for no reason. Let's not do that. Let's just keep this as temp. Of course, we know it's the engine temp. Okay, that's fine. Keep those together. That's fine. Voltage, and then I'll just stick battery here. It's not going to be perfect how I like it, but I will not be too annoying with it. And then we'll do a gauge sideways to 100%. I usually do a percentage on that. That's 5. This will be 6 now. Okay. So these are a little bit separate. These are far flung. I don't like them that way, but it's not information that I readily need right in my face anyway. So that's all right. All right. That's kind of set up. All right. And let's see. And I'm gonna screw with this again. I know, a little bit annoying, but again, all that's gonna happen is they're gonna annoy me later, and then I'm gonna have to change them. And so by changing them now, it kind of nips things in the bud. So master power 2 is gonna be engine start / stop. Toggle that, and then these are gonna be ground idle. Ground idle button toggle 5, and then this one here is going to be, I need to change the numbers too, so that's going to be 4, that's going to be 3, this is going to be max power, it's going to be a button toggle 4, so this will be 2, and that's going to, let me get rid of that, there we go. All right, so that's better, and then that's better setup, and then I can put some other stuff there. So that's going to be all my engine powers there. That works. Just kind of working through the panels here. A little bit annoying, but it's going to be better when it runs right. All right, so let's go in here and let's fix this now. All right, so those should run still fine. All that's good. All right, I want to see if I can get this engine cranked probably. So I need to take, what are you? You are junk that I don't need. 3 is greater than 30. Okay, this is my, don't need that anymore. What are you? That's my alternator. I don't need that anymore. Battery. Let me see how I'm running my alternators now. I forget what I did. Okay, these are just running constant, so I don't need that right now. So All right, let's try to hook up electricity and see if I can't get a crank out of this. So my two alternators, I'll do master power at some point, but I'm not ready to do that yet. I'll hook like systems and then I'll be ready to go. So that's going to go. Those gearboxes don't change, so that's fine. Let's do a relay now before I regret it, and then so the relay is going to be for master power. And then this is the main breaker that will connect things. All right, there. And then what do I want to do here? See. All right, so the battery will go to one side of this relay, and the alternators go to the battery side to direct charge the batteries. Then everything else goes to the master power, so that I have to turn that on. That keeps you from draining electricity. I do like systems, so things like the doors by itself. So the door actually goes in the hot bus, goes directly to the battery. That way you can open and close the door. Panels get connected up, and then they go to the master power side, which is there. Gear needs to be master powered. That is going to go to master power, and then lighting will all connect and go to master power. This will go to master power, and then I need to... And what can I get rid of? I can get rid of battery now. I don't need it. I'm not gonna clutch my alternators. We're gonna try not doing that. All right, and so this will now read so master power. If the master power is on, that will do master power, and then the master power will go to that will go to things like the relay, most importantly, and then it will turn on all my backlights. All right, and so let's see if we can't fire this up. Nice and tiny. So I like this little helicopter already. All right, so let's go. Okay, it's doing that wheel glitch thing. Why do you not have power? Electric 0, huh? Something's not connected. So one should have turned that on. So master power is here. Master power should flip the relay. Give me electricity. Has this already been screwed up? That goes to the bottom. Relay should close. That should power everything. Okay, why are you not doing it now? All right, what the hell? Did I screw up a node on here already? Let's see. Okay, let's see. That's engine start stop. Okay, that's fine. I put the wrong one. So this needs to go to 1. So this needs to be 1. Okay, there we go. All right, that's better. All right, and the wheels are gonna squeal. Maybe. I think they just hit the ground last time. They didn't this time. All right, so the rotors aren't moving either. That's weird. The wheels are going to annoy me to death here. All right, let's get rid of part of my frame here. I don't need it. And see if that will behave itself and not act a fool. All right, so that sits nicely. That sits how I want it. I want it to favor the tail just a little bit. There we go. All right, we're running now. Nice. So the clutches at full percent are fine. Up and running. We're not, let's make sure damage is on. Make sure I'm not destroying my rotors. Nope, they're passing within each other fine. Not hitting the tail rotor. Nice. All right, good. So we're up and running. Let's go ahead and, just for now, I'm going to cover that. Get out of there, man. Trying to cover these 2 holes and with the rotor in the way, it screwed me up. All right, so let's see. What else do I need to do here? Let's see. All right, let's start hooking up control surfaces, see if we can't get a flight in. Kind of hoping to get a flight in. So you are pitch. Pitch. You are up, down is collective. where are you at there? Where are you at there, guy? Actually, you know what I want to do? I'll run it right through the gyro. Usually I do a flight to make sure it's close, but I think we'll be all right. Roll. Roll. Collective, where's up, down? Where's up, down? I saw it. Left, right's yaw. Yaw, yaw. And generally I just run right to the tail here. For that, up, down is collective. Up, down's right there. Up, down's collective. All right, and let's get rid of you. I kind of know where this is at. Anyway, it's not getting any taller, so. And actually, with the angle that it's sitting at, it actually might fit in with the gear down, but we'll see. I don't have the gyro on. It's connected, but dude, this flies beautifully already. All right, you set it up nicely. It should fly well without turning on the auto hover. Like right now, my hands are off the controls altogether. You see it flies pretty well on its own. You know, now I'm putting in a little small bit of correction, but it has no auto hover on at the moment. It's all manual flight now. Okay, so that jitter means that your RPS on your propellers are probably too high. So we're at 15. I'm doing a 9-to-1, I think. Let me double check it. Let me check my gearboxes. So I have to set the max. Actually, that's a 3-to-1. All right, so I'm going to show you the calculator. I don't need the calculator to do it in my head, but it's probably easier to see. So if we're talking about pretty simple the gear ratios, so 3-to-1 times a 3-to-1, 3-to-3. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 1 is 1. That's a 9-to-1 gear ratio. So for example, my idle is 5, so you do 5 times 9. That's 45 at idle. All right, if I did that. If I did so my next one is going to be 15. If I did 15 times 9, we're talking 135. We don't want to go over 60. All right, so let's see if I can do all this with a 3-to-1 gear ratio. So 5, pretty simple, 15 RPS. If I do a 3-to-1, if I did a 10, that's 30. That's 30, pretty simple. And then if we, so what I did 15 and 20. So let's try a single 3-to-1 gear ratio and see if that does it for me. Problem is the tail. I might have to independently do the tail. I may have to independently do the tail. I'll have to see. I may or may not have to do it, but it's actually pretty easy now. So let's do this. Let's read. So I'm over gearing this. I don't need to gear this sucker this much. Get out of here. I don't need symmetry, dude. Screw. All right, there we go. So let's actually go like this. I can simplify this. This doesn't need to be all that complicated. And so this can go like that. And then I can actually put its own gearbox on the tail. And that will allow me to set up the tail how I want it. So I can play with the gear ratio of the tail so that, for example, if I need more spin on the tail or if I need less on the tail rotor, I can just set that up via gearbox. All right, so that's set up now. And so this is going to be a 3-to-1, so that means 15 RPS rotor on ground idle, 30, 45 RPS, and then 60. 60 is the max I want. And then let's make this a... Oh, let's try a 2-to-1, see what that looks like. That's 3-to-1, 2-to-1. Let's try it. Worst thing that happens is it doesn't work. So I'm kind of liking this cutesy little helicopter. It's going to, I think, be cool for what I'm looking to do. So again, this is currently flight idle. So this is my tail. So if you see, if I let go, I'm letting go of the controls. See how it's rotating on its own? That's telling me that my tail rotor needs to be up geared. So I went 2 on that one. So if it's 3-to-1, which it might be, I can do 1 gearbox. So if 3-to-1 works, I'll go down and get 1 gearbox. Try to take a drink while I'm doing this. I don't have the gyro set, so. Tail feels a little bit, yeah, see, so if I let go, I'm rotating. All right, so this needs to be up. So that's at 3. Crap. That's already at 3. Let's see. So I want that to be able to go all the way up. Let's do something. Let's save this really quick. Grab the Katie. I'm curious what Katie's running at. Again, if I can look at other builds, that makes it just so much easier. So where are you running to, Katie? Okay, so here's my tail rotor gyro gearbox here. So that's a 5.2. This is a 3.1. 3.152. Let's try that. It might work, it might not. Different helicopters are going to be different. So let's try 3.152 and see if that works for me. I wonder, did I face that the correct direction? I may have faced that the wrong direction in the tail. I did. That's facing the wrong direction. Okay, that would be why. I was wondering why it's not working right. So let's try this. If these can both run at 3-to-1, then I don't need 2 gearboxes. It's not the end of the world, but it would be helpful. What are we costing? Oh, cheap too, 5,300. Okay, so let's try this. Kind of a good trick to be able to change the tail rotor how you want it. So right now I'm doing nothing. Let's get it up to speed. So it's pretty stable right now at a 5.231. I'm not getting any change. So that's pretty good. So I kind of like that as it is. So right now this is not at max power. All right, this is at reg power. Let's go to max power. So the engine's is now sped up. We have more power. And you see once we go over 60, it's going to go nuts. Okay, so you're going to freak out here. So we're at 45. All right, so we're at 45. 45 is running fine. And then we're going to 60 with max power. 60 was too much. Which 60 is right on the edge of too much, not enough. One thing I can also do, see these are all at 100%. Let's down these to 20s and see how it performs. I still don't have that where I'm actually turning it on. The auto hover is not on. It still gives you some smoothing effect, but it's not on. All right, so the other thing, so 20 is a little bit too little. Like it's not giving me enough control. But hopefully when I go to max power here in a second, it's not going to freak out. So that's the sensitivity too high. The gyro's trying to do too much. See, like now I can bank and crank and yaw and pitch and roll all at the same time, and it's not freaking out. But that's a little bit too low, the 20. So let's try 2500. Usually people leave that gyro on 100 sensitivity, and that's one of the reasons it freaks out. So that's good. We can leave that. Let's try. As I say, we could get rid of that gearbox, but I'm not really in a huge rush to get rid of it. There's no need. So let's go up to 30. Let's do 35. If 35 works, then I know I'm good, and I should have plenty of control. And then let's, for giggles, just grab hotkey 1, plug it into auto hover, and that way I can turn it on, see what it looks like, see how it's behaving. All right, so let's jump in here. So pretty easy to get a helicopter going once you know the principles. Again, if you need some help with helicopters, go ahead and watch that Stormworks Basics helicopter tutorial. I go into that. So I'm going to turn on the gyro and force the gyro to do some work. So I'm going to turn on 1. Now auto hover is on, so it's going to smooth it and it's going to try to hold it in position. We'll go high speed. So now, RPM's not hooked up, I was going to say. So now that's giving me 60 on my rotor. Now with the auto hover on, it really limits it. I hate flying with that on because it really holds me back, especially with airplanes. I loathe it. But let's shut it off. And so now I should be able to try to stress the system. So I've said this before, but if you set your aircraft especially up correctly, you shouldn't really need a gyro. The gyro is there to do final smoothing. Whether you make the gyro yourself or use the stock gyro, it's there for final smoothing. If your vehicle flies like a mess, if you're like a lot of people think that the gyro is just going to be able to save their build mistakes, and I don't mean that to be mean or critical. It's we all make mistakes in our build, and if you fundamentally have instability built in your craft, you're asking a lot of the gyro to fix it. And so if it flies well without a gyro, like generally what I'll do is I'll take my aircraft. Like I knew this one was going to function just because center of gravity, center of mass, center of thrust, all that was set. I already know what the max RPS I can put on this engine is. And so I didn't really need to screw around with it too much. But if you build it properly and it flies pretty well without a gyro, when you put a gyro on there, the gyro doesn't need to do much. And a lot of people will build something that's not stable, and then they ask the gyro, hey, fix my build, essentially. And the gyro just can't. There's no way that a gyro is going to be able to fix all the instability issues you have in there. And so like this right now, the auto hover is off, but the gyro is on, because the gyro is always on once you connect it through there. And you see, I'm flying really well. It's easy to control. I much prefer flying it without the auto hover on, because all the auto hover is doing is it's trying to hold you in position. It's essentially a position hold system. All right, so now let me show you what a flight idle does, or a ground idle. So we'd switch to ground idle, and it's going to really reduce the thrust going to the rotors. It saves me fuel while I'm on the ground. Say I'm delivering some people to a mission, and now I'm pressing full up in the collective, and notice I can't take off. I'm holding full up in the collective, cannot take off. And so that's nice that when you're trying to deliver some people, you can put it down like this. It's still spinning the rotor blades, but it's not actually burning any fuel. And so that's helpful. It's burning fuel, but not a lot. Let's put it that way. All right, so I'm really liking this. Let me check one thing here. I want to fold the rotors. Hopefully they go tail way. They'll probably go the other way just to spite me. But oh, beautiful. They went tail way. So this is super compact. I like this a lot. This is a cool little helicopter. I'm liking this a lot. This is cool. So let me try to... So I was kind of thinking if I want to... let me try some stuff. I'll do a little bit of decorating here. Probably close on time here. It's been kind of a long one, but I've been enjoying this build. This is kind of fun getting into this. I've been very much in a helicopter mood, so I'll kind of talk with you about what I've been kind of thinking of that I've been wanting to do here with some helicopter stuff. I'm trying to think what I want to do in this area here. Let me try something here. This might be uggy a sin, and might not like it, but we'll see. Let me just try something here. This might be ugly, and I might hate it. Oh, symmetry. Oh, symmetry. No, I'm going to hate this. Yeah, I don't mind how this is right now. This is kind of good. Let me just try something. Symmetry's still off, isn't it? Come on, man. It's one of the most frustrating things. You're trying to build something, symmetry's constantly off, and you're like, ugh. Just brutal. It's just a time sink that you have to go back and fix it. Yeah, I like that. That shapes it up a little bit. Just a little bit of detailing there. I kind of, with this, using this 4x, it kind of screwed me up a little bit, but could switch that to a 2. I'm not sure. Let me try something really quick here. Get rid of that. And then let's go, what are you, 1, 2, 3. Of course, you're 3 long. That's a 2. Of course, it's 3 long. It's always like that. It's always like a 3 long when you don't want it to be. Let's see what I can do here. I'm trying to just dress this tail up a little bit. Kind of integrate it, go from fat to thin a little bit better here, where I'm at. Okay, and then I'm just trying something. Might like it, might hate it. We'll see. We shall see. Just a little bit of decorating here. It's a little early for decoration, but it is Christmas. So we'll just do a little, just a hair of decoration here. See how I like it. See how it functions for me. Let's kind of integrate this tail a little bit, fatten this area up just a hair. Hit my mouse on my keyboard whenever I try to do something here. All right, and then let me just cut some of this out and try to redress the top. I'm kind of digging that. I'm just trying to, now I just need to integrate it a little bit better. Because my engine actually is a little bit thinner than I thought it was going to be, so with that in mind, I might be able to cut in here a little bit and make it a little bit more what I want. Yeah, see, I can't cut in there. It doesn't need to be perfectly symmetrical. Yeah, just trying to dress it up a little bit. I didn't hate it the way it was. Again, I want this to be simple and easy. I don't want to make a huge deal out of this sucker. But I'm kind of liking the way this is dressing up a little bit better. Problem is I don't have really place to move that engine panel. So let's undo all that 4x stuff and put in just 2s. All right, and let's dress out 2s here. So and then let's see if we can put 4s there. Yeah, there. See how this looks. Yeah, I can't. I gotta go in 1. Might be able to do that. Let's see. Worst case is it's a no, and I just hit the back button a bunch of times and get it fixed, you know? It's nice to experiment a little bit. Then what I could do is cut there. I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to set this up. All right, just kind of thinking out loud how I want to see. That's not going to work for me there. I could push that into the cabin. Single pipe in the cabin, that would work for me. Just kind of seeing how I like it, you know, kind of getting the aesthetic element of that. That's kind of a fun period when you can start, you know, making your stuff pretty. I know a lot of people start pretty and then they cram stuff in, and everybody has their own method how they like to do it, you know, and none of them are wrong. It's just different, you know. That's not going to work. Okay, that's fine. So let's go hit back button a bunch, and let's stick with what I had originally, and then if I want to address this later, I will, and not cause myself a bunch of headache. Trying to get right. Okay, so I was hitting the wrong button the whole time, which kind of annoys me. All right, there we go. So that's good the way it is. I'm not going to screw with it too much. I like it, and I don't want to mess with it. Yeah, you know, maybe even maybe extend it a little bit, but I'm kind of digging it. I don't want to mess with it all day. Might do it just a small hair dressing in this. This area is the area I don't really like, but I could see it being a pain with this here. This is going to be cause problems, so I'm just going to leave it like it is. Again, this isn't supposed to be a looker. It has a job. Be tiny. That's its only job, really. All right, so this flies. I think I'm going to end up there. You know, we have spot for like a light here. Let's put that in there. So a spotlight goes in there. So really simple, kind of cool little helicopter that's going to be able to go into Proteus. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.